1951, so I was 20 years old. And I had done a little bit of acting. I had a few jobs that I've mentioned, the Pinky Lee Show and a couple of other things. Not a lot, but an occasional job here or there. And I had an agent who was a hard-working, struggling guy, and I was not welcome at the major agencies. They wanted the guys who could get a contract at a studio and make a lot of money. My career wasn't going to go that way. It was pretty clear that I had to build a career playing characters and giving performances of various kinds. I couldn't walk in and say, "Oh, this is the kind of look we want. You know, come on in here." I wasn't going to be one of those people. I finally landed an agent who was a very hard-working guy who lived in a trailer up in one of the canyons here, and he somehow managed to convince a producer to interview me, along with a lot of other young guys, for the lead in a movie called Kid Monk Baroni. And the first meeting that I went to, the first interview that I went to, almost knocked me out of the box completely. It was the strangest thing. There were maybe 8 or 10 guys in the waiting room, and they were being called in one at a time, and they would go in and meet the producer and director and maybe read a scene. Next, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the next one would come out, next one would come out. Well, by now it was about 6:30 in the evening, past business hours, and I'm sitting there alone. I'm the last one in the office. They didn't even have me on the list. So one of the producers came out and said, "Well, who are you?" I said, "Leonard Nimoy." "Who sent you?" "Harold Swobund." Who's that?" "That's my agent." Harold, I don't have you down here. "Well, all right, come on in." And that's the way it started. I thought, wow, this is going to be an uphill climb. It wasn't like we've been waiting for you. But I eventually got the job. And it was an interesting little story. Going to be a B movie, made fast, black and white. Interesting little story about an Italian kid from the Bronx who is born with a disfigured face and considers himself very ugly, which he wasn't all that ugly, but the monk was based on the look of the character. He was supposed to look animalistic. And as a result of the way he looked, he was very defensive and argumentative, a hot-headed kid who becomes a boxer. And during the course of the story, gets involved with a couple of ladies, one nice lady, one not so nice lady who takes him for his money, and one thing and another, and eventually has plastic surgery done on his face, and it was a little melodrama. You know, there was a mother and a father, and there was the Bruce Cabot, who had been a star in some sizable films, including King Kong, played my manager, my boxing manager, and so I got the job. Jack Larson, who was the original young guy in the Superman series, Jimmy Olsen, the Cub reporter, played my buddy, and I get this job. I mean, I was in every scene. My big success was that I was able to deliver the lines and do the boxing thing very successfully, so that the 10-day schedule, 10 days to make a movie. We shot it in 9. We finished a day ahead of schedule. The producer was delighted. The whole picture was made for about $80,000 or $90,000. And I was paid a grand total of $350, plus 2 or 3 suits that they had bought for me at $50 a piece, and they gave me the suits. So my total income was about $350 plus about $150 worth of clothes for the lead in this movie. I was well reviewed. It was a decent little movie. It wasn't bad. I was well reviewed, and it gave me a lot of encouragement, but nothing came of it. I mean, I was back on the street looking for the next job.